All right, hello guys. How's it going? We should be live. We're taking a look at our severe weather threat. I need to mess around with some of this real quick. I'm gonna have you guys in the comments in just a moment. Let's see. Okay, I want to be able to read all of your comments. I always do it through my phone. Another thing I want to mention. Well, there's two things. First off, before we get started, my windows are open. I love to have my windows open, but you might hear like sirens or loud engines. That happens quite frequently. So if that happens, you know exactly why. That's because the windows are open. It's not like somebody's right outside my house. They're pretty far away, actually. So it's actually happened a few times today when I was recording my video this morning. It was really irritating. There was like lots and lots of noise. There's a highway very close, so I have to deal with that quite frequently. Yeah, the second discretion, or I guess just like thing I need to mention. Usually I go to bed around like 9:30, so I'm quite tired. That was an engine. If you might have heard an engine, I definitely heard one. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you just heard that one. It's not like a Harley Davidson. How's it going, guys? How's your evening going? Is everybody excited for Christmas? Okay, you don't hear anything? Good then. I guess that's even better if you don't hear anything. Um, so we have a lot to talk about. I'm gonna make this quite brief. I think I'm probably gonna be ending this around 9. Is my goal, unless something major is happening, obviously. I want to talk about this, and then I also want to talk about the potential for those snow showers, because a lot of these regions here in the Carolinas, Virginia, Mid-Atlantic, all of a sudden the short-range models are showing the potential for just snow showers throughout the day. Not really accumulation we're taking a look at, but it is kind of a major implication because, I mean, that's a big deal if you see snow on Christmas, even if it's just flakes flying. I mean, that is some exciting stuff. So we're going to be talking about that potentially a little bit later on. Where's everybody located? Is anybody located down here? We have a few bad ones going on. We've had a few tornado warnings. I don't really think we've had any confirmed tornadoes yet. Let me see. I need to turn on local reports because it's going to be crucial here. If we see any tornadoes or anything like that, it'll let us know. What happened to the onshore winds? Somebody said they should still be coming. We're expecting major winds with this upcoming storm. See, northern Michigan. Got a lot of folks from a lot of different regions here. Well, I'm happy to have you guys, even though not everywhere is necessarily a part of the discussion. One thing we're going to have to work around is this radar site right here by Lake Charles has been destroyed for, I think, like, months and months and months. Literally, the top got taken off of it. Um, let's see. Checking. Somebody said, hold on. The comments aren't really loading in. That's why there was a little bit of a silence there. Let me just exit out of it and try to load it back up again here. Here we go. Let's see. I got an ad on my own video. That's what's happening. Here we go. Oh, I have to hit live chat, not the normal comment section. My bad, guys. Favorite football team, the Patriots. I'm all Boston sports. Somebody asked that. It's kind of off topic, but yeah, that we still have that radar site. If I try to load it, you'll see what happens. Let's see. Usually says, yeah, you can't see it on the screen, but it says site down, last volume 2,851 hours ago is the last time it picked up any new frames. So I guess that's when Laura was literally hitting, was 2,851 hours ago. Very interesting stuff. Oops, clicked the wrong thing there. Let's bring it back over here. The good thing is actually all of our action is closer to this radar site. So we're not really in a blind spot at this point. As of right now, we have 2 warnings up, and I really anticipate I will be asleep when the worst of this event is happening. And quite frankly, the worst of this event is going to be tomorrow, not today. We have an enhanced risk now for the East Coast. So, bad weather. This one, quite frankly, right here, looks like it does have some rotation to it. I'm going to be watching this one closely. Yeah, it looks like it has some spin to it. Would not be surprised to see a tornado warning come out of this one. Let's just take a look at that storm relative velocity. Not quite as much, but still. We will watch it closely. There goes it glitching. Right. Well, that looks pretty extreme, does it not? There you go. So this one over here, we have a tornado warning with the radar indicated, and that indicates that basically there hasn't been any sort of confirmed tornado on the ground. This is just an area where they see rotation. Somebody at the Storm Prediction Center is looking at this storm the same way I am right now, and they're the ones that kind of call the shots on whether something gets a warning or not, and that's exactly what that is. Let's see. 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts forecasted for Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I've been thinking that somewhere around there would be the expected amounts of winds, pretty much for the entire East Coast, honestly, at some point tomorrow. I mean, it is looking nasty. Let's take a look at the rotation on this one. It's obviously really crucial. And if we probe this, what's really cool is we get to see the values. And I think a lot of this rotation, a lot of people look for red versus green. So like negative versus positive. But you're taking a look at about 5 miles per hour up against 41 miles per hour. So that's rotation in there for sure going on. Yeah, and again, we do have rotation in this one as well. So yeah, we have 2 pretty good areas right now where we could be seeing some sort of interesting development coming up here in the coming moments. I mean, we have some pretty strong cells. We just got a new frame, so we'll check everything out. This one, let's just put it into motion. Looks like it wants to go supercellular. Yeah. Let's just get this to the most recent frame. Yeah, let's... No rotation there. Does have kind of a signature look, but... Let's see if there's still any rotation on this one. Yeah, some pretty broad rotation still. Let's bring it back down to our tornado warned area. Looks like there's some more rotation developing in there. We'll be watching that closely, like I said. Let's just kind of get everything off the screen real quick. Let's put on the screen kind of our categorical risk, and this thing always glitches. It's really annoying. Let's see. Yeah, none of these want to work. So also, let's see if we have a... Yeah, we do have a mesoscale discussion here as well. That's what I was kind of wondering about. Can we get like a... I think I'm loading in the actual written discussion here. I am curious what it's going to say. I'm sure we have one up here as well. Yeah, blizzard going on there. That was kind of a little bit of a surprise event up there. Saw very, very awesome videos up there from that blizzard. Okay, you know what? We're not going to do all that. I thought it was going to load it like in the program. Let's see. So right now that yellow area is our slight risk, and when we pull back up the radar, you can see once we get this up, I can't wait for the new computer to come in, guys. I mentioned this last stream if you guys were here that I do have a new computer on the way. Um, I ordered it, I think, around Black Friday, and it's been very, very late, which is, if you've ever bought a computer online, you know that's a very typical thing you run into. But I finally got the confirmation that it has shipped from the FedEx facility that it originally got shipped to, and it's going to be here on the 26th. So I'm hoping to be able to ramp up production of videos and also do much more streams and much better streams. So just much better stuff on the way. So as you can see, none of these storms are actually in our slight risk yet. They're all in the marginal risk. So we haven't even seen the worst of it beginning. And this is probably still just a couple of hours away. Again, I'm not really going to be here by that point. Let's take a little bit of a look into the individual categories. Probability of tornadoes. We have a 5% here in this yellow within 25 miles of a given location, which when you think about it, that's actually quite a high chance. And generally they keep these tornado probabilities a little lower than hail and wind. For instance, the very first shade here for hail is actually 5%, whereas I think there's a 2 and then a 5 with the tornado. Yeah, 2 and then 5. Let's just take a look at that damaging wind. And I've been saying tornadoes and wind is the biggest threat here, not really any hail at all. Yeah, so for some reason the wind one does work fully, so we get like the full green and yellow here. But the wind risk, as you can see, pretty much follows suit with where our tornado shades basically were located. That's funny. It follows a straight line there along that Florida Panhandle border. I've never seen that before. Interesting. Let's take a look at day 2, guys. And day 2, things are going to get really interesting, and I wish I could be here. See, WSV3 is really got to get this fixed. I mean, this is just a mess. Every single time I try to load in, every time I try to load in these products, it just really messes up a lot. So we have that slight risk within that yellow line because we only have a line to work with here. But within this orange area, that's where we have an enhanced risk of severe weather. Linux user 1234 said, "Are you using GR2 Analyst?" No, I'm using WSV3. It's kind of like a newer product. So, yeah, so we have a pretty serious situation here, I think, for especially eastern North Carolina, but also southeastern Virginia, and I happen to live in this region. So, yeah, pretty scary situation. We're going to be watching it closely. I think a lot of people, what I'm scared is going to happen here, and I've seen this happen from time to time, but really, what I'm scared of happening is people feeling like it's Christmas, this isn't going to be a terrible severe weather event, especially areas further north. I know the Gulf states, they're used to having severe weather this time of year. It happens. But for the Mid-Atlantic, it's a little more rare this time of year. So I don't think people are going to see it coming, especially if we start to see more worse of a situation. So we're going to be watching it closely. I want everybody to take this very seriously. An enhanced risk, especially this time of year, is not super common. Team Bling said there is a report that there is a tornado. Can you try to confirm that for me and kind of just cite your sources for me? People say that very frequently here on my severe weather live stream, so I just want to get a really good solid confirmation, or if anybody else can confirm that as well, that'd be great. Let's switch this over, and for day 2 we only have the probability and categorical, but here, this is what we're going to do. Can everybody see just fine? I have it on my phone, so I'll be able to see. This is going to be perfect. Oops. Here we go. All right. Well, first off, here's day one. So you can see the yellow areas is our slight risk, which slight I've always felt like sounds like it's downplaying it. When people hear slight risk, they're like, "Oh, there's hardly any risk at all." Um, I just don't see it that way. You know, I really don't. I think slight risk we very frequently see a lot of severe weather within slight risks. It's just little more spread around. But really, it's not like that limited, honestly. Um, Here's day two. So we have that marginal basically from Florida up through Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, D.C., Delmarva's in there, and even southern New Jersey within that marginal risk, which also should not be downplayed as well. We do frequently see some severe weather and marginal risks as well. There's a reason it exists, and that's because severe weather is possible. All right. Within that yellow, we have a slight risk. So South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and even the eastern shore of Virginia there as well. They've had a bad tornado, actually just, I think, within the past 10 years. Then our enhanced risk, which again is that area where there's even more of a risk of severe weather. And the biggest thing is that we're going to have a lot of warm air, a lot of humid air moving up rapidly from the south. If you're in North Carolina, if you're in Virginia, basically if you're along the East Coast, what you're going to notice, the winds are going to be coming from directly from the south. So that Florida air is going to be making its way all the way up to Virginia, Delmarva, New Jersey. And it's going to feel warm. It's going to feel warm, guys. A lot of 70s are going to be around only for the morning hour. The second that cold front crosses through, frigid. Like I said, many areas expecting to see snowfall on Christmas Day, potentially with some snow showers. So it is going to turn around in a hurry. Yeah, it's going to be a humid Christmas Eve. Look, I'm disappointed, but in the fact that we're going to see humidity. However, I am super glad that it's not going to be on Christmas Day because nothing makes it feel not like Christmas more than like super warm, super humid weather. I'm super glad it's going to feel Christmassy on Christmas. That's definitely a positive here, if there is any. Let's take a look at that wind risk real quick. And as you can see, we have a 5% there in the green within 25 miles of a given location. And then in the yellow, we have a 15% chance of damaging wind within 25 miles of a given location. So South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. Let's take a look at the hail risk. And there is pretty much none, less than 5% in all areas. So we're going to have a pretty limited chance at hail. I've actually personally seen hail when I was in the below 5% chance area. So I know it is possible. Just not really a huge likelihood at this point. Let's take a look at the tornado risk, which is probably why most of you are watching and what most of you are interested in at this point. As you can see, we have actually a higher tornado risk tomorrow. Within the greens, again, we have 2% within 25 miles of a given location. And then for the browns there, we have 5% within 25 miles of a given location. And then the yellows, we have a 10% chance within 25 miles of a given location. And that's actually what bumps us up into that enhanced risk category. Yeah, so 10% within 25 miles of a given location. That's a 1 in 10 chance of a tornado hitting 25 miles from your house if you live within that region, which I do. That's a pretty terrifying thought, but that's how you have to look at it, and that's how prepared you should be. Think about that, really. I mean, it's a big deal if a tornado hits within 25 miles of your house. I mean, I don't even think that's happened in my life, and there's a 1 in 10 chance of that if you think about it. So it's just always something to think about. I mean, think about how terrifying it is. Not to get off topic, but I mean, some of those higher values down there. Like, imagine if there was a 60% chance. It's more chance than not of a tornado. I mean, that doesn't even make sense hardly. Now, let's go back to radar real quick. I kind of got carried away talking about like what's upcoming, and I really do want to focus on the current conditions. This still says radar indicated. Somebody tried to say it was confirmed. Is this radar indicated or is this on the ground, guys, if anybody has sources right now? Now, this is starting to look nasty, this one. So I want to talk about this in just a moment. Let's take a look at that velocity real quick. Yeah, this one has some good rotation. This one down here, not as much, but that's kind of what we've been dealing with the whole time anyway. Kind of just okay rotation, nothing too concerning. Just want to give you guys like a little bit of a lesson here on just um, overall kind of the type of storm we're taking a look at. This is my first, well, it's not the new year. So I was going to say this is my first Supercell of the year that we're taking a look at, but it's not. It's maybe the last one, maybe, that I've done on a stream. Let's see. This one's severe warned, but let me get that off the screen real quick. I have this awesome tool called Pick, and what this allows me to do is draw on the screen for you guys. So what I generally look for is this V structure. So you notice it's narrow there, but then we see these two regions. That is a bad look. And usually it's this area right here that I'm circling where we look for the potential of some sort of tornado. Once we see this structure in a storm, what we're generally looking for is the rotation. And then once the rotation is there, we're looking for actual damage at the ground or being picked up by the radar. That's when you're taking a look at a terrible, terrible situation by that point. But this is a classic structure of a supercell. And we see these very frequently. This isn't an uncommon event. So this by no means means we're going to for sure see a tornado here. And quite frankly, I would say 4 out of 5 supercells or so just don't ever end up really producing any sort of rotation or tornadoes. They just kind of fizzle out, and they have a great look here on the on our radar. But then once we go to velocity, once we go to correlation coefficient, there's just nothing there. At this point, some people are asking, does it hook? I guess a bit. This isn't like the most definitive. Again, you get a really good hook once there's actual rotation. So you're not gonna get a super good hook without any rotation. That's generally how it goes. So again, I want to remind you guys, I expect the worst of the severe weather to be tomorrow. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. I think everybody's going to be quite understanding about this, but I'm not going to be going live tomorrow or the day after that, quite frankly. I will be uploading a video every single day, though. Like always, I will never miss a day. So don't have to worry about that, but we're going to be not going live due to the fact that it's Christmas Eve. So it's funny that I really feel like the tornado warned one does not look as good as this one that only has a severe thunderstorm warning. It has a severe thunderstorm warning on that northern edge. Maybe we're taking a look at hail here. That could be the reason why. See, we have this really cool tool. Yeah, it appears we're seeing hail here. So we take a look. We have about a ½ inch hail. So, I mean, nothing major going on. But yeah, definitely some hail within that cell up there, and it appears actually that this one down here as well, we do have some hail going on. Yeah, definitely about ½ inch to an inch. Yeah, 0.7 inch hail diameter. Really cool tool there. Useful in many situations. Probability of severe hail, this one has some. So yeah, definitely. Irate Production said, is that program a monthly subscription? Yes, it is. What is it going for right now? It's either 15 or 20 or 25, somewhere in that range. Definitely worth it, especially like for somebody in my shoes where, it's my job. So, but even if I was just a hobbyist, or even if I just liked weather a little bit, I would probably get this program. It's so awesome. Yeah, so we have these two cells. Let's see if there's anything else. We can take a look at how tall they are. That's cool too. So generally, yeah, very tall clouds. Thousands and thousands of feet there. Those are very tall cells. What's interesting is we have a really low cape situation. We'll actually go take a look at the actual cape in just a moment. Which is convective available potential energy. Let's go back to our simulated radar again. This one has a pretty good V structure. It looks like it might be breaking up a little bit. Let's take a look at that rotation. Yeah. So nothing super good in terms of rotation yet. This is the one they're mostly taking a look at from the Storm Prediction Center. Again, we have about 52 up against maybe about 5. So usually people, like I was saying before, are looking for reds and then greens, but sometimes darker greens and then very bright greens is enough rotation, and people don't think about that sometimes. Let's just go ahead and, well, we'll go to reflectivity, and we'll keep that on. Let's see, we'll go over to mesoanalysis, surface cape. This is going to tell us exactly how much cape is around. You know what? I'll tell you what. This definitely, the models downplayed this a lot. No. I don't work for the National Weather Service. I just do this YouTube channel. That's it. So that's my job. Definitely don't work at the National Weather Service. Several people are typing, said GR2 has some of the same stuff as WSV3, but has more. I know it has more, and it's a little more high tech. But the thing with WSV3 is the visual. I feel like the visual is so beautiful here on WSV3. I don't think you can beat it as far as like what I do for like having a YouTube channel here. I really think WSV3 is the best for what I do, but I do hear a lot of great things about GR2. All right. So yeah, the models definitely downplayed this because guys, in these yellows, we're taking a look at 1,000 cape, and if you watch this morning's video, we did not think there would be 1,000 cape because the models were calling for 500 cape. But I mean, we have very widespread amounts of 500 cape, also very good areas, very large areas of 1,000 plus, which is certainly sufficient. That's probably why we're seeing a little bit more convection starting out earlier on than anticipated. Brandon Barrel, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. What do you think of tomorrow's severe weather threat for Virginia Beach area? First off, I want to say I was there yesterday. I love down at the oceanfront. Beautiful area up there at the Cavalier Hotel is beautiful this time of year. Awesome place. I am concerned about tomorrow. Again, I mentioned earlier, you probably weren't here. I think a lot of people are downplaying this event and will downplay this event because I'm not talking about professional people. I'm talking about everyday people. When they hear that there could be severe weather, I think further north, like the Mid-Atlantic, they're going to not take it too seriously. I think they're going to be considering it's December. They're not going to be expecting it, and they're not going to believe it. In the Gulf states are used to it. The further north you go, the less common it is, especially along the East Coast. It's already not really that common. So it's going to catch a lot of people off guard if we do see a damaging situation. Tornadoes, there is unfortunately a pretty large chance of tornadoes for North Carolina. I would say the eastern third of North Carolina and through that southeastern corner of Virginia. So unfortunately, we are taking a look at a potential damaging situation if even we get one tornado. And there is a quite decent chance that we could see multiple tornadoes within that kind of area I just mentioned. So we're going to be watching that closely. Obviously, I'm going to be watching it closely as I live in that region. Yeah, just be aware. Be aware. You'll always be safe if you know what's happening. I think that's a good way to play it. So yeah, we have high amounts of cape here. If that's the case tomorrow too, I mean, that's a bad situation. Underestimating the cape on the models, and then, I mean, they were not calling for this much, guys, at all, so. Uh, let's see. Okay, our tornado warning just got expired. I wonder what our dew points are looking like right now. Let's turn that off. Let's go ahead and add dew points. Let's see if we can't get any of those on the screen. Tornado possible. Yeah, so the WSV3 is picking up on basically the signature of the storm and also the bits of rotation, which is not looking as good as it was a moment ago. The structure is still, I would say it's still showing potential. Okay, let's see. Ducky said, what is the highest risk for severe weather like tornado, hail, or winds? I think you're asking like what implication is most likely. And the answer to that is I think unfortunately well, first off, winds are most likely because winds are almost always in a severe weather event most likely because it's the easiest to happen. It doesn't take a lot for damaging wind. But right behind that is followed closely by tornadoes. I think I wouldn't be surprised if there's no hail reports tomorrow. And I also wouldn't be surprised if we have more than 5 confirmed tornadoes tomorrow. I would say it's kind of like that over under. You know, you don't like to speculate, but a couple. Kirby Green said, "I live in NOLA. Even though the probability is low, we have been told to keep our weather alert system active during the hours when we are asleep. Anything you can add?" Kirby, I really, really feel like it's always a smart idea in any sort of a situation like this to have that active and ready if you have it, obviously. Um, the reason being is think if there's a 1% chance of a tornado hitting your house, wouldn't it be worth it if there's any chance of it happening? I really, really do think it's a great idea to just have that on if you have it. Oh, you do hear the sirens this time. I knew something like that would happen with my windows being open. I mentioned that in the beginning of the stream. There was a really loud engine in the very beginning and nobody really heard it, but there is definitely an ambulance or something. Uh yeah, so we have 3 decent cells going on right now. Hopefully, like what would make my Christmas Eve morning great is if I wake up tomorrow and there's 0 confirmed tornadoes in this area. That's going to be kind of like 50% of the severe weather event done. I would be very, very happy if that was the case. So but yeah, there's some decent looking cells right now. I'm watching all 3 of these. I think this one near the radar looks okay. When they're that close to the radar, we start to see it kind of break up, as you can see, where it looks kind of insane. That's where the radar is starting to really just have issues as it's very, very close. And then, once it's, quite a few miles away, 10 miles away, that's when it's perfect conditions or the perfect distance for that radar to be able to get a really HD look at what's going on. So yeah, I'm thinking, will you do a video of the storms for your area tomorrow? Um, I think tomorrow's video, I have no idea what I'm doing tomorrow. It's gonna be something related to all this stuff going on, but it's gonna be a big, today's video was kind of like a cluster of just a bunch of stuff. I think tomorrow you can expect the same. Ryan Hall donated $5, said hoping for a thumping of snow in eastern Kentucky. I'll have my fingers crossed that you get a thumping of snow for sure. Thank you for the kind donation. I forgot to tell you guys, if you ever want to donate, never feel inclined to, but if you ever want to donate, that button on the bottom right is always the super chat button that you can click. and you can either send a sticker or a message that'll be pinned, and you can donate however much you feel inclined to do. Also, if you aren't subscribed, that'd be awesome if you'd subscribe, because I would love to have you guys back. I upload every single day, basically without exceptions. I can't remember the last time I didn't upload a video. So, yeah, we do have velocity, like as you can see here. WSV3 is an awesome product, guys. You would think I work for them with how much I plug them, but no, I just love the program, really. Yeah, I'm watching all three of these. They're moving out of our favorable areas, so I'm hoping what'll happen is they'll just begin to break up as they head further north. Because really, this area up here where they're heading, the further north they go, the less favorable it becomes. Temperatures are warmer down here. Temperatures are colder up here. Dew points are higher up here. Dew points are lower up there. Et cetera, et cetera. So the CPM on weather videos, Ryan Hall was asking. I can't answer that question right now. I will tell you what my CPM has been for the month of December. Hold on. From what I've heard, the CPM basically is extremely high, actually, in my genre. From other weather YouTubers I've talked to, it's pretty high. So in December, it's been $11.70, believe it or not. November was $9.80. October was $10. September was $9.34. August was $7. June was $7. May was $5. What ended up happening is actually, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but during the real height of how do I put this? When everything was freaking out about the pandemic, basically, and everything was just going downhill, like the stock market, everything was just crashing completely. The CPM also really, really went down. I don't think people were really buying stuff as much because they didn't feel as financially secure. So, Ryan Hall, you know what? If you want to continue this conversation, I have an email, directweathercontact@gmail.com, because I'm certainly interested in having this type of a conversation. But I don't want to bore my viewers with, I don't know if they're really into talking about like YouTube finances. So, please email me. I'd love to talk about that. It's, again, directweathercontact@gmail.com. It's in the description, actually, so you can click that down below, as there's a ton more sirens in the background. Let's see. All right, guys. Oh yeah, the popo here. Keep the finance talk. Yeah, maybe I should start a financial channel, guys. I don't know. Those do pretty well apparently nowadays. I've seen. Oh, that siren is very loud. I actually think it's an ambulance, so. But I'm kind of a party pooper for saying that, because you guys are pretty funny with those jokes. I just completely shut that down. We do have some rotation on this one, the middle. Oh gosh. When that happens, it freaks me out every time. Kind of just like catches your attention. Christian Markey said, so what do you do for a living? Full-time direct weather. That's it. Like this is what I do. 100% of what I do is this. So direct finance. That's what I should just start every YouTube channel I ever. Like direct vlogs, direct. I don't know. That'd be it. Direct finance, though. That's pretty funny. Let's see. Somebody said face reveal at the start of 2021. I don't know. I've really hyped up a face reveal like multiple times during my YouTube career, and I've never decided to do it. So I think it would just change. I don't know. What's the point? Think about it. Many people have already seen my face anyway. I'm not gonna tell you how, but many of my subscribers have found my face. Um, I've never personally experienced a tornado. I'm turning 21 in March. Let's see. Somebody said, people think YouTube isn't a job, but preparing all of the content you are going to show, editing it, publishing it, and finding more stuff for the next video is a lot of stuff. Thank you for saying that, first off. That is something that is definitely very true. For instance, my day tomorrow is going to start today. When I sit down for bed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the weather models and try to get an idea of what I'm making for tomorrow's video, because if I go into tomorrow not knowing what I'm making for the video, and I have to spend a lot of time thinking of a good topic, that is one of the things that can really bog me down and just mess up my whole schedule. So that is like crucial. I wake up at 5 a.m. every single morning, so that I can get you guys a video in the morning. And then it usually takes, I usually start my audio at 7 a.m. is usually my goal. So that's 2 hours of preparing. And then it's usually uploaded by 8 is my entire goal. So yeah, I mean, and then you think about it, it doesn't sound like a lot. Like maybe 3 or 4 hours total of work for each video, but that's 7 days a week. That is not just, 4 days a week. That is 7 days a week, every single day. I don't take breaks, but that is my choice. Like, I'm not going to try to act like somebody has a gun to my head and is making me do that. I choose entirely to do that. I might have done a face reveal a few years ago. And by, if you might mean like 5 years ago, by a few years ago. I don't consider that as counting. Sam Denby. Let's see. I'll tell you if that looks like me at all. No, that doesn't look like me at all. Let's see. Um, okay, if I hit 1 million subscribers, I will do a face reveal. That I can promise. So let's see. I'm just going through all these comments. You guys started asking really good questions all of a sudden. Max Raving Music Productions. Hey, Direct Weather, how have you been, bro? I've been pretty good, man. How are you? I hope all is well. Tom Sexton said, "Are you going to complain about your job or tell us about the weather?" I really hope it did not come off that way because I love doing what I do. I think honestly, I have the best job in the world. So it's quite the opposite. And before you jump on me there, I'm not trying to brag, but I love waking up every single morning at 5. Like there's nothing else I would do that for. Let me just put it that way. So I'm sorry you feel that way. Um, it's priceless to love doing what you do. Let's see. Under 5 minutes gave me a $2 donation. Thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate it. I just heard Direct Weather's microwave mic 6 years ago. Yeah, that was like the computer built-in one. So, but you have to do what you got to do when you have zero money and you're a kid. Uh, I was determined to make videos, whether it was good or not. I was just gonna work with what I had. Christian Markey said, "I'm an extremely small YouTuber trying to find a platform. How do you recommend getting my foot into this community?" Um, it's interesting because for me, I just already had something I loved, and I was so passionate about it that I wanted to make videos about it, whether people cared or whether people wanted to watch or not. And I think that's what I could probably attribute my success to, is the fact that I loved doing it and I wanted to do it so bad that I nothing could tear me down. Like 0 views could not tear me down, even if it was for 100 videos in a row. So if a channel not doing good enough, like for instance, if you don't love what you're making videos about, low views is gonna really burn you out. You're not gonna want to keep doing it. Uh, it takes it takes something you're very passionate about for it to work properly. That's all I could say. Savion, if that's how you say your name, just subscribe. Thank you very much for subscribing. I appreciate it. Uh, Max Raving Music Productions. I just read your comment. Congratulations on all of that. I'm glad to hear you are doing well. Let's see. Sissy's RV journey. Oh. Um. Okay, so if you're in Louisiana, anywhere, I mean, really, if you're anywhere in the southern half of Louisiana, you're just gonna want to pay attention. It's only a slight risk of severe weather. It's only a slight risk of severe weather. So this isn't something to be panicking over. This does not mean there's a really great chance of your house basically getting, just slammed by something. It's just going to be something where you're going to want to be aware, but not like cripplingly fearful, if that makes sense. So I think your family will be fine as long as they pay attention. Some I Kenna Eckrich said, "Have you ever considered working for a news channel?" I would respectfully decline if I ever got offered to work at a news channel. Winter Queen Weather said, "Hey, Direct Weather, what's up, Winter Queen? It's good to see you. I hope you're doing great. It's been a long time since I've talked to you, so I hope you're doing absolutely awesome. Let's see. Uh, Max donated $5. Uh, and you said, I honestly watch you than the Weather Channel. Not gonna lie. Can you look at East Texas, please? Absolutely. Thank you so much for the kind donation. Thank you for also watching our YouTube channel. Basically, if you're south of Houston, or east of Huntsville, east of Houston, but also south of Huntsville there. So I guess like southeast of Huntsville, there is some thunderstorms in the area. Those are rapidly moving southeastward, so those are going to be coming to a halt basically very, very shortly. So it really just depends where you're at. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna go through some more comments. I'm rapidly getting very tired, guys. If you can't tell. Let's see. Let's see. Cool Creeper Ryan said, you could hear his voice getting quieter gradually. Yeah, I'm like exhausted, guys. Um, so before this stream gets too low quality for me, just like hardly talking, I'm pretty much just gonna go, guys. Any last minute questions or comments? You might want to do those right now. Because I'm about to end it. Uh, Mark Robnick said, "Great job. I always watch your forecast, and I am in Guelph, Ontario. I don't know how if that's how you say that. Very impressive work. Thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate you." Let's see. Yep. I think everybody's pretty much White Christmas for Chicago. I don't think so, honestly. Cold front's moving through. I don't really know if you guys will get too much precipitation. I don't think there's going to be a White Christmas there, unfortunately for you. Good night, everybody. Hopefully, you guys will tune in for our morning videos on Christmas Eve and Christmas morning. I'll try to make it a little more festive, if you know what I mean. I don't really know what I mean either. I'm just really tired and saying a bunch of stuff. But I hope to see you guys on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day because, well, it would just be great to be able to tell you Merry Christmas. So, I'm still going to be uploading like normal. If you haven't subscribed already and you've been a part of this stream, you can do that now so you can be a part of our future uploads and streams. I will see you guys in our future streams and our future videos, all right? Good night, everybody. Have a great Christmas season if I don't get to talk to you guys any longer. All right. Good night.